Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Runner in second, 2 out in the 11th. Line to right. Dylan Beavers with a hit. Alexander wheels around third. He will score. More 2-strike, 2-out magic.
The Royals were a strike away. And it's down in front of Ward. The game is tied again. This time it's the Royals down to their final strike that get off the mat.
He swings away, belts the ball to center. Isbell back. Isbell watching. It's gone! A grand slam for Leody Taveras. And the Royals once again are down to their last out. Strike 3 called. And the Orioles survive the silliest game of the season.
40 seconds remaining at 2 for 1 for Atlanta if they hurry here. It's McCullum, turn in the corner, step away, Jay, goes down! C.J. McCullum, killer in this fourth quarter. Brunson with 8 to shoot, the fend off, the strip by Alexander Walker. Hawks looking to run, Johnson slams it home! Atlanta has its largest lead with 10.2 remaining. Looking for Brunson. Catch, shoot, Brunson, splash! Put it up for the win, and he missed it! Atlanta comes all the way back from 14 down and ties the series. They win game 2 in MSG.
Shot! Saved by Omar. Hit some bodies in front. Stahl was there. Back to King Andre Miller. Miller to Ehlers. Slot shot. Score! Jordan Martinook in double overtime.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into another episode of Sports Day. My name is Brant Daughtry. I'm the host of this program. Landon Wickler's over in the corner running the video feed and the cameras. In case you want to watch the show as well as listen, we've got a fun video interview for you today. I hope you all enjoy it. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But you can watch the show by going to greatbendpost.com, hovering over the sports tab, and clicking on the post that says Sports Day on Tuesday. The show is presented by Barton Community College, offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities, supporting student, community, and employee needs. We start today's show, as we do every single day, where we can, with the sounds of the past 24 hours. There's a whole lot going on right now. We've got regular season baseball. We got playoff basketball, playoff hockey. It's a whole lot happening right now. Big news for the Royals last night. They were ahead for most of the game. It was 1-0 going into the ninth. Royals give up a run. It's 1-1. Royals go down 2-1, and I think the 11th inning. They come back. They tie it. Bobby Witt Jr. gets an RBI. Of course he does. That dude's incredible. And it's 2-2 going into the 12th. 3 walks, a grand slam, 1 more run, and the Royals fall 7-5. Comeback effort at the very end does fall short. Royals gave it a go. I thought they were going to do it for a little bit. That game lasted late into the night. The Royals gave it a run, but were not able to come back at the very end. So the Royals remain on an 8-game losing streak. They are now 7-16, tied for the worst record in the majors. Actually, I think the Mets were off yesterday, so they now have the worst record in Major League Baseball, at least until the Mets play again. Or if they get a win, Game 2 against the Orioles is tonight, and with any luck, KC will do something constructive. That's really all you can hope for, is that they just have something. They're looking for something. They need a win in the worst way. Game 2 started in the Game 2s around the first round of the NBA playoffs started last night. The Atlanta Hawks and the Minnesota Timberwolves able to take Game 2 on the road in their respective series. The Timberwolves were down 19 to the 3-seed Denver Nuggets. Timberwolves made a comeback. It was actually both 3 versus 6 seed games. The Knicks were up 14 on Atlanta at one point in that game, and the Hawks were able to make the comeback. C.J. McCollum scores 32. A-Town stand up. I love the city of Atlanta. Cleveland took a 2-0 lead on the Raptors in the 4-5 series. What else happened last night? Those were the only 3 series that were underway, so you will see the rest of the series played tonight, Game 2, as those 3 series go on a bye week. Actually, those teams will now travel after Game 2 to the other cities, and major advantage for Minnesota and Atlanta as they were able to take a win on the road. And in the NBA playoffs, if you are the lower seeded team and you get a win on the road, that is an absolutely massive deal. And you certainly, as a Hawks fan, I really hope they can continue that. We also had the NHL playoffs last night, Game 2 of Round 1. Once again, it's kind of funny how these all sync up. Dallas was able to get one back on Minnesota. They are now tied. And Carolina and Philadelphia were able to take 2-0 leads in their series. You heard in the sounds the past 24 hours. Carolina in double overtime with 6 minutes left to go in that game, in the second overtime, 6 minutes away from a penalty shootout. Carolina able to score the winning goal. I love overtime hockey. I really, really love overtime hockey. I think it's the coolest thing in the world because game's over at any time. That walk-off goal is such a cool thing, and I think hockey is such a cool sport for having it, and I certainly hope that hockey fans are aware of how cool their sport is. I think they are. And the Philadelphia Flyers take a 2-0 lead on the Pittsburgh Penguins as well. The other 3 series will have Game 2 played tonight. And that is your look at what happened over the last 24 hours. Sports Day is brought to you in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Also by Sutherland's, helping you build it better since 1917. For quality lumber, plywood, and OSB. To cabinets, plumbing, hardware, and power tools, they have everything you need to get the job done. Visit Sutherland's on 10th Street. Lastly, brought to you in part by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Community College athletics programs the very best in the country. Fun show for you today. We'll lead things off with Great Bend softball. Those girls continue to kill it. Took their first loss of the season over the weekend. Really, really good Derby team in a tournament in Dodge City, but they played 4 games. They won the other 3, so they continue to have a great season. Later in the show, we're joined by Brent Biggs, head coach of Barton Baseball. They won 3 out of 4 last week as well in a series they needed to win 3 out of 4 in against a Butler team that is pretty solid, and you'll hear from Coach Biggs in the second half of the show. But after this first break, it's Ridley Swanson, Camden Post, and Alyssa McCauley of Great Bend High School softball. They join us on the other side. You're listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGBN 95.5 FM.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Get fit with the Great Bend Rec. Join one of their many fitness classes. They have something for everyone's fitness type. Cardio, yoga, tai chi, HIIT, spin classes, and more. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville. Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys make it happen.
Barton Community College, in partnership with Golden Key Group, proudly offers the nation's first associate degree in federal human resources. This online program prepares anyone for remote federal HR careers across the government. Service members and military spouses can use My CAA or GI Bill benefits to take the next step toward a flexible, rewarding career from wherever you are. Learn more at federalhr.bartonccc.edu.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars! The Royals play Game 2 against the Orioles.
And there's another good swing. Deep to right field and gone.
Then he deserves some results. Absolute laser.
Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Tuesday right here on 1590 KVGB at 95.5 FM. Royals baseball is brought to you by Advanced Truck and Diesel, Next Tech, Sunflower Diversified Services, Mayo Money Management, Crown Toyota, All Weather Roofing, and Gleason Landscaping. Welcome back in Sports Day. Brant Daughtry now joined by members of the Great Bend High School softball team. We've got Camden Post, Alyssa McCauley, and, oh my gosh, Ridley Swanson. I'm sorry. Usually I write this down. It's the first time I've seen you. So, but guys, welcome in. And first of all, congratulations on a really successful weekend this past week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you guys were down in Dodge City, over in Dodge City. Down and over, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know my geography yet. I'm working on it.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about the weekend. Three wins out of 4. Really impressive showing for you guys against some really, really quality competition.
Yeah, definitely. It was really nice to get some more competition with Mays South and Derby and Wichita Northwest. And yeah, we just had a lot of fun. The first game, 4-2 against Mays South, it was a really great way to start off. And then Northwest, 10-0, right? And then Derby was a little bit more tough, but that's okay. We still played really well, and they just came out on top. It was their weekend.
Yeah, we really just went in with a mindset that we just got to play our best, and it doesn't necessarily matter the score at the end of the game as long as we give it our all and work hard out there.
So really, this is your first time being in the studio. Welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your experience being kind of the new player on this team and being asked to step up a couple of times like you have been.
They're really welcoming, and they help you. If you make a mistake, they're not gonna count it against you. They bring you back up and help you they help you make your mind calm down after you make a mistake, so you're you don't make more than one, and it's really welcoming in this team.
Softball's such a mental game, and being and I know that I've mentioned that I think every time I've interviewed members of the team so far, but the fact that you have welcoming upperclassmen to kind of put a hand around your shoulder and kind of show you, hey, this is how we do things, this is the way we find success. That's got to be a great feeling to have teammates that can do that for you.
Yeah, it's I was really nervous coming into this, and once tryouts were over and I noticed how welcoming they were, all the nervous feelings just kind of went out the window.
So you've had one of the highlights of the season. I believe it was the first game against Pratt. You come in with a pinch hit opportunity, freshman coming in cold off the bench, and you come through with a big clutch RBI. You drive in the winning runs, and so in that moment when you know you've got a lot of pressure, but your teammates or your team, your coach is trusting in you to come through in that moment. What is that moment like?
The moment is scary. once you get in the box, and after the first pitch, the kind of feeling just kind of goes away, and then you're like, okay, now it's time to go. And once the pitch comes, you just kind of go with the flow, I guess.
So it becomes go time in there. And so, girls, when she was going up, when you realize, okay, she's getting this opportunity, what goes on in your heads to go, okay, let's get her ready for this?
I mean, I was just like, put Ridley in. It's her time to shine. I thought that she had it the entire way. I know how capable she is. Every time we scrimmage at practice or just practice hitting, like I see it, and she's just a really good hitter. I mean, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We all had her back.
100%. Sean makes the substitution for her to go in and hit, and we just bring the hype in the dugout. We're cheering for her, hyping her up, and really just telling her before her at bat, like what pitches she should maybe look for and prepare herself for, but just letting her know that she's got it and have confidence in herself.
You know, you've come in and you guys were undefeated going into the weekend. You do take the first loss to a really, really good Derby team. But it doesn't feel like the mood has changed with you guys and that you're still, all right, yeah, we know how good we are. We know how good Derby is. We lost that game, but the expectation feels like it hasn't changed for the team.
Okay. Yeah, after the game, I mean, obviously we were bummed that we lost. Like, you don't ever, like, want to lose. But at the same time, like, after the game, Derby was hype that they beat us. Like, they were so excited that they beat us. And I think we all took that as a very big compliment and still a win, that a team that good was excited that they beat us. And we still have a lot of season left to build onto that and get better. And I think it was still a win in the fact that they were excited that they beat us.
You know, Ridley, I keep going back to the fact that you're a freshman. You've been trusted to do a lot of things, including to come in and speak into a microphone by your head coach. But what is it like kind of stepping into a team that has had so much success over the past couple of years and it is so junior and senior heavy, and to still be the freshman that's entrusted to do things like this?
It's very a proud moment for me because, I guess all my work is showing showing off, and it's just very welcoming to be trusted by all these girls and them having my back 24/7.
Cameron, I think you're the first outfielder that we've had this season. I'm not positive about that, but I think you are. Tell us a little bit about the outfield and the way that you guys are playing right now. I know that you're having a great season yourself, and so tell us about everybody who's guarding the grass right now.
You know, honestly, in the outfield, we haven't had a whole lot of action in the outfield, and that's on our pitchers. Our pitchers are doing great, and they're shutting it down, giving the hitter a little dribbler to the infield, and the infielder's doing a great job taking care of that. But of the ones that we have had in the outfield, we are communicating so well and telling each other where we need to throw and just getting to the ball and really just taking care of it out there.
I'm really impressed, again, with the way you guys are not just beating up on bad teams. You've gotten some run rule victories, but you've also, like you said, going to Dodge City. That 10-0, who was the team you beat 10-0? Because I know that team was pretty good, and the fact that you run ruled them was, I don't want to call it shocking, but impressive. That's a tally, right?
Wichita Northwest. Yeah.
And so you guys are having this season where you're beating good teams. I go back to the doubleheader against Pratt. I mentioned this last time, but Camden, I kind of just want to know your thoughts on the fact that you're still getting this quality competition.
Oh yeah, for sure. We are the competition is there, but we are honestly just doing so well that it seems like we are just that much better. Even though even Hutch and Pratt, they are good teams. They are solid teams, and they're getting all of their wins, but we're just a little bit better, and we're just putting in more work.
I was told last week, and I ran out of time to do this, and so I'm going to bring it up now. I needed to ask what happened with the national anthem in Liberal. Story time. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're all standing there, and they were trying to play it on their speaker, I think, in the dugout, and they were like, it's not playing. The girl ran out. She was like, it's not playing, and I think Kaya was standing in front of me, and she turned around, and I was just like, And so both of us just started singing, and then everybody else just started singing, and then our parents sitting in the stands just started singing. We were like, okay. And so at first it was a little shaky, and then we were like, okay, pitch perfect time. We got this. Get in tune.
Acapella, let's do it.
Yes, acapella.
I love that. It's to tie it back into the sports thing, if I can force the metaphor, I guess, it is what you guys have done is a job needed to get done, and you guys made it happen. It wasn't maybe what you expected coming in, but it was what was necessary at the time.
Yeah. My grandma loved it, too. She posted it everywhere on Facebook.
Did she? I missed it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna have to go look for it.
The video's great.
Yeah.
I'm active on Facebook. I feel like I kind of have to be with this job, but either way. So you guys go and you get the job done in Liberal. I heard there was also rain delay shenanigans or attempted rain delay shenanigans.
Yeah.
It's another thing Coach Bear told me to ask about.
I think there was just a big storm coming, and they kept, like, calling time and stuff like that, and we were like, we don't want to have to come back to Liberal.
Yeah, we did not want to go back to Liberal. So at this point, our goal was to get a couple runs in, and we needed to make it to the 5th inning so that way we wouldn't have to go back and play another game. And then we just go on the longest hitting run that we've had in a while. Like, we just hit. And then their coach is calling timeout, like, so many times. But we ended up beating the rain. And then as soon as they called game, then there was, like, sprinkles coming down as we were running in to shake hands.
Very nice. That's, something to be said for desperation, I guess. I made the trip to Liberal once. It's such a long drive. Yeah. This is such a big state. and congratulations on not having to make another 3-hour drive south, and also on the 2 wins. So you guys have Hayes tonight in Hayes, and then they come back for a doubleheader on Thursday, right?
Yes.
Okay, so anytime Great Bend and Hayes play each other, it's a big deal, whether it's football, basketball, softball, baseball, whatever the sport is. And so I guess what's been you guys' experience with Hayes, and what have you seen from them the past couple of years?
For me, it's always just a really intense game, but, like, I just calm down and I'm like, it's just another game. We just play our game that we play every single time, and we'll be perfectly fine.
My experience, I'm friends with a lot of the people from Hayes. I know a lot of people from Hayes, but every time we play sports, we're just like, oh, I want to beat you. I want to beat you. And it's just a lot of fun. As long as everybody stays good sports, it can be a lot of fun, and that adrenaline that we get from it. And once the game's over, we're friends again. We're best friends again. So
sure. Ridley, do you play any other sports? I know you two are both multi-sport athletes.
I do volleyball, and I also wrestle.
Okay, so you're all three of you girls are used to playing Hayes just year round, and it's and obviously familiarity. Like you said, you're friends with a lot of those girls, and I guess rivalry stuff is always fun to me, just because it is that extra layer of intensity, and like you said, that comes out a little bit. It's competition.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, like, beating Hayes is always something that's fun. It's one of the best feelings in the world, and it's just really enjoyable to do. Makes us all really happy.
It's always a good game, regardless of how either of us perform, good or bad. It's always a fun game, regardless of the outcome.
Well, girls, good luck tonight, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
That is Ridley Swanson, Camden Post, and Alyssa McCauley of Great Bend Softball joining us here on Sports Day. Big thanks to those three. Whole lot of fun. I always enjoy interviewing Great Bend Softball. There's a lot of personality on that team, and I think 3 or 4 times I've had them in, they've been great. So big thanks to them for coming in today. And how about the freshman, Ridley Swanson? She did great too. Those other two, Alyssa and Camden, have been in the studio a bunch, and for the fact that Ridley, her first time in here, I think she did a really good job. And so, we like to you do this long enough, and especially with the girls, where volleyball, basketball, softball, and throw some wrestling in there as well. You see a couple of the girls a couple of times, and you kind of get to know some of these kids, and they've all been great. They've all been really cool, and so congratulations to them. They are currently
15-1 following that loss to Derby. That's the only blemish on their record. They're still perfect in the WAC. They've got Hayes tonight, and then, like I said, back at home on Thursday for a doubleheader with the Hayes High Indians, and it should be a whole lot of fun. It's rivalry stuff, right? Like, everybody loves that. It is a really, really great team. I'm going to be out there on Thursday at that doubleheader, so come say hi, maybe, if you're interested. Sports Day is brought to you in part by Kern Floor Service. Whether you need a new ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone floors, their knowledgeable and friendly flooring experts are here to help you find the perfect floor for your home decor and budget. Visit the Great Bend Showroom at 908 Coolidge to see, touch, and feel the latest styles. Also brought to you by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company. Whether you're looking to sell your land or find the right property to buy, Cody takes pride in understanding your goals and making the process as smooth as possible. Call Cody at 620-617-7320 or visit redcedarland.com. We're going to hit our next break. On the other side, the head coach of Barton Cougar Baseball. Really fun week for them. I won't say really fun week for them, but a productive week for them. They took 3 out of 4 in Butler. Weird start to that series. Great second part of it after game 1. Really, really interesting the way that played out. We'll let Coach Biggs tell you about it on the other side of this break. You're listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes are looking for motivated people to join their team. They're hiring a full-time installer. Experience is a plus. The position offers competitive pay and benefits. They're also looking for an energetic salesperson who enjoys helping customers. Candidates must have a valid driver's license and pass a drug test to be considered. C&E Doors is an equal opportunity employer. Apply today at C&E Doors on Harrison in Great Bend or on Vine in Hayes. C&E Doors, opening the door to your future job.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
The Royals play Game 2 against the Orioles.
And there's another good swing. Deep to right field and gone.
Vinny deserves some results. Absolute laser.
Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Tuesday right here on 1590 KVGB at 95.5 FM. Royals baseball is brought to you by Advanced Truck and Diesel, Next-Tech, Sunflower Diversified Services, Mayo Money Management, Crown Toyota, All Weather Roofing, and Gleason Landscaping. Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry now joined by the head coach of the Barton Cougar baseball program. We've got Brent Biggs in the studio with us. Coach, thanks for taking the time today.
Yeah, you bet.
So, Coach, let's get into it. A positive week for you guys against a Butler team that's near where you are in the standings, and you're able to take 3 out of 4. And Coach, I was able to catch some of these games, and I was impressed with the way your team kind of bounced back from a disappointing game 1.
Yeah, disappointing game 1. Like I said, we kind of found some new ways to lose, responded in game 2, which we needed, and that was a really important part of our season. And then, led to some momentum on Saturday, and Saturday at Butler, traditionally a place we haven't played overly well. I thought that may have been the best we've played in quite some time. We pitched the ball really well. We didn't make an error on defense, and we had some timely hits, and so it was one of those things where really, really happy about how the way Saturday went, and we definitely needed it.
And, Coach, just looking at this game on Thursday, game 2 on Thursday, I believe a season-high 6 home runs for your club and an 18-8 run rule win. And to, I guess, bounce back, because like you said, game 1 was weird. I caught most of it, and just the uncharacteristic mistakes that were made in that moment. But to kind of be able to flush that and come back and have a great game 2, I think speaks to the mental toughness that you said earlier that you've been looking for.
Yeah, and it was a tough loss, and it's one of those things where it's like, I told him after the game, I don't have any words for you, and usually I have something, and it's like, I have nothing for you, it's time to do it or don't, and I think we took out some frustration, and like you said, we hit 6 home runs and played a lot better, and I think everyone had kind of had enough, and it's like that was kind of the turning point, like, hey, either it's time to get going or this season's going to be lost. And so we kind of, they made that decision, and that was all them, and I think that was the most important part of our season going forward.
I talked to a lot of coaches at the 4-year school level and at the high school level, and they say in those moments when, as a coach, you don't have anything to say, it's a little a frustrating thing, but what you do is you kind of rely on your seniors, and you don't have seniors, and you've got guys that are in their at most their 3rd year out of high school, and to have just that, who were some of the guys that stepped up in that moment?
It's not a real vocal team, and it's one of those things where we've been trying to. I mean, that's where we've kind of been lacking. I feel like when times get tough, who do you lean on? And we have some good players, but nobody that really like stands out. Like they're the team leader, they're the team captain, and it's kind of a collection of guys. And we got some guys that play hard. Regards to this situation, like a guy like, and this is a freshman, Rhett Winchester. He's battled through injury. He plays extremely hard. He's had a really good year. Whether he's playing really well or he's having a bad day, you wouldn't be able to tell based on his body language. He's going to play hard. And those are kind of the guys that, at least me, that I look to, hey, follow this guy's lead. The good is good. The bad isn't quite as bad, and he kind of stays even keel, and he's going to do the right thing more times than not. I think that it takes a collection of those guys. And so there wasn't much said from a standpoint of, leadership-wise. It was more like, hey, here's the way forward, follow me, and let's get this thing rolling.
Rhett Winchester is a guy, every time I've watched your team play, Coach, he has one play a game in the outfield that just takes your breath away. He's such a good defensive center fielder, and when you have as big a field as you guys do, I believe it's 405 to dead center, maybe 400, but
yep,
there's a lot of space out there in center field, and he can cover most of it.
Yeah, and he'll run through the wall. He made a diving catch on the warning track that has some pea gravel on it, and he's a tough kid, and that's outfield defense. I think gets overlooked a lot in our game, but it's something obviously at our place we really go after athletes that can really run and defend in the outfield. And with injury and just kind of the makeup right now is we haven't been overly great in the outfield. Rhett's been good, but that's been kind of the bugaboo out there. And, so everyone's kind of followed his lead. And like I said, Saturday, we made some really, really good plays. Carter Helm, who's a catcher playing outfield for us, it was the 7th inning, and, we're up 4, and there's a pop-up towards the fence. And I always say, hey, run through the fence, right? And he kind of shies away from it. I was mad at him, Well, the very next hitter hits a pop-up. He goes into the bullpen. He dives on the bullpen mound and about smokes his head on the fence. and he catches it, and it's like, okay, there's a little bit of toughness. And I just that was our MO on Saturday. Is it didn't matter what happened, we were going to go make the next play, and that's the attitude you like to see.
It is kind of an interesting thing, something that I've noticed. I don't know how many times I've seen it, because Carter Helm catches game one, and then you take him and you put him in the corner outfield, and there's just not a lot of guys that have, I guess, positional diversity like that.
Yeah, and I guess our catchers for the last 4 or 5 years, I feel like our catchers have kind of been our best players, and we get athletic ones. And so what a lot of people don't know, like Carter's one of the better athletes, and so he catches, he plays outfield. And then Micah McGavern, another catcher we have, is a really good athlete too, but he sprained his ankle and missed about a month or so. So he's kind of slowed, but he's another guy. He can go to first. He can go to the outfield. We moved Dalton Jorgensen over to first. And the flexibility of guys being able to move around when we dealt with some of these injuries has been a big key as well.
Micah McGavern, I believe, was DHing on Thursday when I went out there to watch you guys play Butler. And I believe he went something like 5 for 5, 6 for 6 in game two. Hit a home run in that game as well. I had 2 home runs in that game, I think, and so a really, really solid kind of. It feels like he is kind of indicative of the team. The first couple of times he was in a bit of a slump. Now against this Butler series, it feels like he and a couple other guys are trying to break out of that.
Yeah, and he's a guy we need. Hayden Oviatt. He had a good day. He hit another home run Saturday. J.J. Spafford, another guy's been scuffling. He's really good early. He's our shortstop. Had a really, really good day Saturday. So some of these guys are starting to get going here late when we really, really need them.
Tell me about what happened Saturday, because it feels like your team kind of flipped the script as far as what happened here in Great Bend. You travel to El Dorado. This is another 2-run game in game one, but this time your team comes out on top, and then another run rule victory in game two.
Yeah, and we were up 7-0 in game one on Saturday, and it's a really, really small park, so it's 300 down the lines. Though it was kind of a crosswind, but anybody in that lineup can pop one out at any time, and they did. They hit a couple home runs. They hit one late, but we pretty much controlled that game throughout. The biggest difference was our aggressiveness. And so we didn't give at-bats away. Yeah, we hit some home runs. We stole 6 bases in game one. We went first to third. That was our brand, and that's where we've been successful, and we've kind of got back to that point on Saturday. And like I said, I think everyone just kind of let go, and quit playing tight, and let's play hard, and we're going to play fearless. And, the goal is for the other team to never get comfortable, and that's what we did on Saturday.
It feels kind of funny to hear you talk about, trying to find ways to manufacture runs when your team is averaging double-digit runs per game. But it's the way the league is playing this year, where everybody's offense is potent, to say the least, and your team continues to find ways to score 11 runs a game, and they need 11.
Yeah, and our pitchers were really good on Saturday in a small park. We moved Horseman. We flipped Horseman and Justice 3 and 4, and so Horseman gave us a really good start. Dagan Vinduska was good out of the bullpen. Gave up the late home run, but he did a good job. And then Brian Justice was really good in game two, and I think he gave up 4 in the first 2 innings, and they popped a home run out. But then he was really good, and I think that when we're aggressive and we're putting pressure and everyone's having fun and comfortable, now the arms relax, and now the bullpen relaxes, and now everyone, okay, it's baseball, it's a game, let's enjoy it, and we've kind of got to that point on Saturday. So the most important thing is, can we continue that?
Right, and that's I wanted to mention that baseball's such a momentum sport. When things are going well, they're going really well. When things are not going well, they really don't go well. We spend a lot of time on this show talking about the Kansas City Royals, and look what's happening with them right now. But how do you take this 3 out of 4 against a solid Butler team and turn it into momentum? Because, Coach, you got a big week coming up.
Yeah, big week, and every week's big, right? And Clouds ranked up to 3rd in some polls, 5th in some polls. Really good team, and they remind me a lot about some of the teams we've had in the past. There you have really good starting pitching. They have 2 or 3 bats in the middle of that lineup that are really good, and then everyone else knows their role, and they're just really good baseball players, and they're going to take advantage. If you make a mistake, they're going to run with you. And I think that it'll be really good. It's going to be a playoff atmosphere. You know, we're playing for a home playoff game, and they're playing to win the league. And so you can get caught up with who you're playing and the situations, or you can just, let's go play better baseball, and let's just worry about ourselves and continue this momentum. And I think at the end of the day, we'll set ourselves up in a pretty good spot.
It's such an interesting thing because I did a little research on Cloud County just to prep for this, and I'm also going to be on the call for the doubleheader this Saturday, and just looking at what they've done. Obviously, a great team, like you said, third in some polls, fifth in others, depends on where you look. But you look at some of the games they've played; they've been in a lot of close games. They've just been on the right side of a lot of close games. I think I'm reminded that they played 2 games against Cowley, a team that your club has beaten twice, run-ruled them if I remember right, and they took that Cowley team to extra innings. It is it's so indicative of the sport of baseball where anybody can beat anybody, and these guys have just managed to pull out these close games.
Yeah, and I think that you create your own luck, you create your own breaks, and like
Sure.
I said, they're really well coached and they have good players, but you look at it and you go back through box scores, it's like, how did they win that game? And man, they got lucky on that thing, and they got a break here. And well, when you do things the right way, usually you're pretty much rewarded. And they do. They play the game hard, and they play really good defense. And the kicker with them is their arms are more talent. I mean, they have the most talented pitching staff in our league and maybe in the country, top to bottom, and that'll win you a lot of baseball games.
By taking 3 out of 4 from Butler, your team is now in a position to host in the first round of the tournament. And so I guess when you look at what Cloud has done, the fact that you're coming up on the end of the season, 2 weeks left in the regular season, how do you assess where you sit?
I'll be honest with you. So the first time I looked at the standings in the last month was on the way home from Butler on Saturday. And the tricky part is, too, like, we only have 1 conference series left, and then our bye weekend. Well, everyone else has 2. And so it like you're starting to do the math. Okay, what do we need to do? We'll Seward and us and Butler are all kind of tied up. Well, Butler plays Seward, and Seward plays Cloud. And then we have Cloud. And so it's like one of those things where I think that if we just play well, we'll set ourselves up in a good position, and then we'll see what shakes out in the league the next 2 weeks. But I realistically thinking, I think at minimum we're going to have to split this weekend to have a shot to host a home playoff game. If you win the series, I think we're sitting in a really good spot. If we lose the series, it's going to be really tough to host, first round.
It's got to be comforting as a coach to know, okay, we don't have to worry about anything else. What we want to do, those accomplishments are in our hands, and we know what the goal is. Even against a really tough team, you know what you got to go and do.
Yeah, and we just, like I said, we got to play better, right? And I don't know, we've always been, for the last 4 or 5 years, we've won the League 3 out of the last 4 or 5 years, and there's always been pressure, and you got to do this. And right now it's like there's no let's just go play good baseball, and if we're at home, we're at home, and if we're on the road, we've won 2 of those series in the past 6 years as well. So I think we're in a good spot. We just got to continue this momentum going forward.
Coach, thanks for the time today.
Yeah, you bet.
That's Brent Biggs, head coach of Barton Baseball, joining us here on Sports Day. Big thanks to Coach Biggs. A lot of fun to talk to. Good dude. And a program that is good. A program that's great with a team this year that is good. I think never really has found their consistency. Hopefully that this Butler series can give them that consistency. Maybe they can turn this thing around and see what happens with it. But, yeah, this is a very good Cloud County team. He talked about what their pitching did or has done so far this year. Cloud this year is 40-4 overall, 21-3 in the Jayhawk Conference. They have lost 2 games at home, 2 games on the road. Let me see if I can find some of their stats. This will be interesting. Yeah, baseball. All right, yeah, I'm not going to be able to find this, I don't think. Oh, here we go. Stats overall. If you can't tell, I'm just trying to waste time here. Maybe not waste time, but fill time. Yeah, their team ERA is a 4.68. That's what I was looking for. Their team ERA is 4.68, which is significantly better than any other teams that I've seen this year. Probably the second best ERA that I've seen, which I'm calling the Bartons in my head right now. Theirs is, probably around 6.5 to a 7 ERA. So Cloud's ERA as a team is 4.68. Their opponent's ERA is over 12. So that just kind of tells you what this Cloud team has done. And like I was telling Coach, there are some games that they have been on the right side of very close matchups. There are other games that, like you expect the number 5 team in the country to do, they've just beaten the snot out of some folks. They're very good, and like you said, Barton knows what they've got to do. It's just a matter of can they go and do it. It'll be a really interesting matchup, to say the least. Barton has a lot of talent. They have some good pitching. It's just getting it all going in the same direction at the same time. This is going to be huge, and I'm currently slated to call these games on Saturday, the home leg of this doubleheader with Cloud. We'll let you know how that goes tomorrow. Well, should say this. No show tomorrow. We're off for the Royals, but we'll let you know how those games go on Friday after they take place on Thursday. That is, of course, assuming the weather stays nice. This is what I was going to get to a minute ago. The weather is a little bit iffy for this weekend, so still up in the air whether or not we will be calling those games. If those games stay put on Saturday, I will still be on the call for them. If they get moved around, it's gonna be a little more iffy. But hopefully everything gets out of the way Friday or Thursday, Wednesday, tomorrow, whatever. But like I said, no show tomorrow for the Royals and Barton baseball taking on. To use the coach speak, the next big game is the next game. But this is probably the biggest series that Barton has had all year, just because of, like Coach said, what it means for the standings and the opponent that you're playing. What's kind of funny is they're not the top rated team in the Jayhawk, because Johnson County, who plays in the East, is the number 1 team in baseball in junior college. So some really good baseball here in Kansas. I know Hutch is in the top 20 as well. Barton was in the top 20 to start the year. They've fallen out. They're kind of trying to work their way back in. They take 3 out of 4 from this Cloud team. I mean, that would go a long way in the rankings, but obviously got to go out there and do it. So big thanks to Coach for coming in the last couple of weeks, and hopefully his team can get things done. Sports Day is brought to you in part by Equity Bank. There when you need them. Bank local, save big. With in-person banking and business banking, visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and Larned. Also by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison. Back to tell you what's on TV tonight on the other side. You're listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Parents, if your student is planning for college this fall, Barton Community College enrollment days make the process simple. In one visit, your student can meet with advisors, choose classes, explore financial aid, and get everything set for the semester ahead. Barton's team is here to guide them every step of the way. Sign up for a Barton enrollment day and get started today. Go to enroll.bartoncccc.edu.
C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes are looking for motivated people to join their team. They're hiring a full-time installer. Experience is a plus. The position offers competitive pay and benefits. They're also looking for an energetic salesperson who enjoys helping customers. Candidates must have a valid driver's license and pass a drug test to be considered. C&E Doors is an equal opportunity employer. Apply today at C&E Doors on Harrison in Great Bend or on Vine in Hayes. C&E Doors, opening the door to your future job.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
The Royals play Game 2 against the Orioles.
And there's another good swing. Deep to right field and gone.
Vinny deserves some results. Absolute laser.
Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Tuesday right here on 1590 KVGB at 95.5 FM. Royals baseball is brought to you by Advanced Truck and Diesel, Next Tech, Sunflower Diversified Services, Mayo Money Management, Crown Toyota, All Weather Roofing, and Gleason Landscaping.
Get fit with the Great Bend Rec. Join one of their many fitness classes. They have something for everyone's fitness type. Cardio, yoga, tai chi, HIIT, spin classes, and more.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Final couple of minutes of the program here today. The show is presented in part by the Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of their community members. Also by Freedom Claims Management. Let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management, Inc. customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's needs. If you're interested, we will have Barton softball head coach Carson DeBose on the program Thursday. Still trying to line up who else is going to be on the show Thursday, but I got some irons in the fire. But she will be on Thursday. Currently in their game against Southeast Community College, the Bobcats in town. Barton is up 1-0 as they play in the top of the third. So Barton takes the lead in the bottom of the second inning, and they are going to continue play over there at the Great Bend the Barton softball field. On TV tonight, there's more playoff basketball. If you have Peacock or NBC, you can watch the 76ers and the Celtics, the Trailblazers and the Spurs, and the Rockets and the Lakers. First of those tip-offs is at 6. Go ahead and tune in if you like good basketball. If you're looking for baseball tonight, a whole lot of it on. The Royals will be hosting the Orioles in Game 2. Coverage will start at 6 right here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. And the first pitch slated for about 6:30, 6:40, and they'll see where it is. If you want to watch a good baseball team, the Braves are at the Nationals once again. First pitch at 5:45. My Atlanta Braves, they're so good. I don't know why they're so good when they weren't very good last year. I think they had a chance to be good last year and just weren't, but here we are. Some college baseball on TV if you have select ESPN networks. Doesn't look like anything huge is going to be on. You do have Virginia Tech taking on VCU. That'll be a fun one. And just a lot of baseball. Playoff basketball is where you need to be. I believe there's also playoff hockey tonight. Let me find that. Yeah. Playoff hockey tonight. You've got the Montreal Canadiens taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning at 6 on ESPN2. Boston Bruins taking on the Buffalo Sabres at 6:30 on ESPN. 2 more later that night, the Utah Mammoth, and I believe their first year of existence, are taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. That on ESPN2 at 8:30. And then at 9 o'clock, your nightcap for NHL hockey in the playoffs. the Los Angeles Kings taking on the Colorado Avalanche. That on ESPN. So you've got playoff basketball on NBC. You got playoff hockey on ESPN. You got regular season baseball wherever it is that you can find it. It's impossible to find baseball in your market now. If you have MLB.tv, you can watch everything but the Royals. So go nuts there, I do suppose. That's going to do it for today's program. I'd like to extend a big thank you to Brent Biggs, the head coach of Barton Community College Baseball, and wish them luck in their series against Cloud County. Also a big thank you to Ridley Swanson, Camden Post, and Alyssa McCauley of Great Bend Softball for coming in today as well. Reminder, no show tomorrow. We'll be back on Thursday. Big thanks to Landon Winkler as well for running the video feed and the cameras. Thanks to you for watching and listening. We'll do it all again on Thursday. This has been Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.